welcome to this week's video. I'm Rot, and you may be wondering what all these boxes are around me. Well, it's my new road bike because I've grown out of my current Isla bike. So I've got the frame and then all the parts for it, and me and my dad are going to hope to build it up this week. So there are a few things to consider about when buying a bike, especially for youths. So I'm going to tell you about them, a few of them things today, so stay tuned. The frame we got is a Form Calva Junior SL. It's a 44cm alloy frame with full carbon forks. It's a cyclocross frame, but I'll be using it on the road as well. And the great thing about the frame is that it can hold 700C wheels, which is the same size as standard road bike, so that when we're riding we can just need to take one size of tubes. So the wheels we got are second hand, and Dad thought he got a bargain on them, and they're Reynolds Attack, and they've got a good review in Cycling Weekly, so they should be good. And then they're tubeless ready, so I'll be running them tubeless. Now on to the important things to consider when you're buying a road bike and you're young like me. The first thing to think about is crank length. The length of the cranks on my old bike was 155, and I've stuck with that on my new bike. The general rule of thumb for crank length is 10% of your height. So I'm 150, so it would be 150mm crank length, but my legs are longer than most people's, so we've gone for a bit longer, and it's better to have your crank length shorter than longer. The second thing to think about is QFactor. QFactor is a measurement from the outside of one crank arm, where the pedal attaches, to the outside on the opposite crank arm. And there's a diagram up here. So what surprised me was that on the Isla bike, the QFactor is 180, which, considering that it's a child's bike, that's massive. But on my new cranks, it's 145. Let me show you what I mean. So if you come over here and look from above, then you can see that the Isla bike crank points way out, whereas the new crank is straighter. This basically means that when I'm cycling, with the old cranks on the Isla bike, I'd have been pedalling like that, whereas with the new ones, I'll be pedalling more like that. So if you're pedalling like that, then that can cause hip or knee injuries. If you're under 16 and you want to do some races and they're under the British cycling rules, then you have gear restrictions. There's some in this chart up here, but they're on the British Cycling website as well. The link to British Cycling's in the description below. We decided to go for SRAM because it's a lot easier to change gear. So if you have a look, this is a Shimano gear, and with Shimano, to change gear you have to push the whole lever, which is pretty hard for little hands. Whereas with SRAM, you just have to press this little lever here, and it can be adjusted to come in closer to the bars. And the brakes are hydraulic, so they're a lot easier to pull. I hope you enjoyed those things to consider when buying a bike as a junior. If you did, then smash the thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.